YouTube viewers. I'm sorry about that last week. I just couldn't help myself. Being April the 1st, and I've been dreading turning on this machine for a long time. I really thought possibly it's going to blow the fuse in my house. Smoke's going to come pouring out, which we'll talk about that in a second. But I just was a little bit worried about it, put it off, and then finally, when I decided to turn it on, here it was, April 1st. In any case, let me now show you what actually did happen when I turned on the machine. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the video. So as you can see, the power supply all came on. All the lights came on perfectly. I went back, I checked with the voltmeter and looked at the voltages. They were all good. I think I tweaked the 2-volt reference point just a tenth of a volt or so. Not even a tenth, a hundredth of a volt. Anyway, but everything looked pretty good, except I was getting an odd error on the meter bridge on the screen up there. Something about a communication error to the service panel or something like that. I couldn't understand it. I shut it off, turned it back on a couple of times, still came up with the same error up there. And at this point, I decided to actually look up what was going on with the error. So I turned around like this. I actually am facing the computer screen right now with the machine behind me and started to look up this error. After I've looked inside there and everything was connected. I didn't see anything disconnected. I had the top up, the deck up. I was looking around at this and boom, the largest bang I ever heard happened. Turned around quickly and smoke was coming up right from the card cage where all the transport cards are. I immediately knew what happened. Obviously, I put in one of those capacitors backwards. So, let's take a look at this right now. So, as you can see here, this cap just blew its top right out of there. And let me point out, this blew up so aggressively, okay? If you don't think electronics is dangerous, take a look at this. This one was soldered in. Here's the way it's soldered in the circuit board. I'm sure you saw it before. Legs bent real nicely, soldered in like this. Now, it was soldered in backwards, okay? But it was soldered in perfectly. So once this thing came up, okay, and it's only 15 volts on this cap, but once that 15 volts came up backwards, it started boiling electrolytic in there till eventually it blew it out the top, out the positive end of the cap, okay, and forced the other end of the cap against the metal. And take a look at how badly it bent that lead up, okay? I mean, this is like some serious force that this happened, okay? Now, this happens on radio caps, once in a while, if you put a radio cap in backwards, okay? But you don't want to be looking inside the unit when that cap blows because that can goes flying up, okay? In this case, because it's an axial cap, the leads soldered to there actually retained it, and it didn't go explode in my face or anything like that or hit me in the back of the head. But in any case, a few hours later, I replaced that, got back, and let me show you the display now when you turn it on. Now, that's correct, okay? Obviously, audio parameters are lost, which, of course, that's normal because the batteries are dead. 20 years, it's not going to retain that memory, okay? But the beauty of this is When I hit the button that clears that message, there's no other error messages. This is the only error message. So there's nothing showing any bad EEPROMs, anything like that. It's just telling me I've lost my audio data, which is fine. The machine needs to be aligned. Once I align it, we'll get in new audio data, store it, and it should recover that stuff. So now I was feeling pretty good about this, okay? I did notice a couple of problems, all right? First off, there is a problem with the reel motors. The spooling motor seems to be making a noise. It's got to be something with the brakes or something. I'm going to take a look inside there. And the take-up motor, I'm not sure what's going on, but it doesn't seem to be turning that freely, but it does turn when you're hand freely. So again, I have a feeling it's something to do with the brakes, because there was a lot of rust in that area, and that I'll look at. But at this point, I was feeling pretty confident because I was having this thing. So I had an entire I had an entire drawer of cards, 1 through 8, were already done and cleaned. So I loaded the first drawer with the 1 through 8 cards. And lo and behold, the meters 1 through 8 suddenly work beautifully now. So I hit the generator, the signal generator, and this is what you're going to see. Now, I did see one problem occurring. Maybe after about 15 minutes, my number 2 meter would drop out. I can't quite figure out what was doing it. I shut the machine off, tried it again, did it again, the same like that. Maybe 15 minutes or so went into it. So I got the scope out. I got everything set up there. I'm trying to determine, is it the actual card down in the drawer that's cutting out, or am I just losing the meter itself? So after getting the signal on, putting it in line, we're looking at the signal, watching it. Of course, nothing happened. It was on for like 8 or 10 hours, and that meter was rock solid. So I don't know that one. That one's a mystery. We'll have to go back and look at that. But I'm going to end this video at this point here. I just want to say to you, what I'm going to do next is I got to look at these spooling motors, because I got to get the deck to actually smoothly work. The controls all work. Every single button is working on top of it. It works fine. But the motors are not working. The capstan motor, however, is turning perfectly. At least I think it's turning perfectly. It is turning. I don't hear any noises or nothing like that. But it's running fine. But the 2 spooling motors are not running at this point correctly. So we're going to look into that. I'm going to take that top deck section off so I can see what's going on. I really think it's something to do with the brakes, but who knows? Could be something I put together wrong. Not quite sure. In any case, thank you very much for watching this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Click the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Click on the bell for notifications. I'll let you know when the next one comes out, and everything should be good. Thank you very much.